this week's episode of Live Large.
We're back here, we're doing wide grip lat pull down. One of the themes we've talked about the last few episodes is a lot of guys go to the gym, they select their weights based on who's watching as opposed to what kind of impact you're actually trying to have on your body. This applies a lot to the lat pull down. How many guys do you know can rack pretty much the whole stack but still have no lats? Don't be that guy. So we're gonna teach you guys how to apply outward intention. We taught you pull-ups last week. For some of you that might be a little challenging, that's okay. This is what weight training is all about. It's about progression, creating more stimulus on our body that it hasn't tolerated before. So you might have to start off with this exercise, and then we're gonna do lat pull downs with outward intention. Why don't you take me through the key points though before you start even yanking anything?
Okay, so the first things you want to think about, guys, is the range of motion is you're supposed to happen here. It's a relative elbow position to your torso. This is what you want moving. You don't need this moving, you don't need this moving. So ideally this is staying stable, this is staying stable in an ideal world. So in an ideal world it's going to look like this. Comes up straight. You're not getting much of a difference in elbow flexion, you're not getting much of a difference in wrist flexion. It's difficult to do when you have a locked implement. So what we're going to try to do is just think about getting this as short as possible, really. So I'm trying to think about bringing my elbow into my side while maintaining short abdominals. So obviously if I do this, it's going to change the plane of movement completely. So I'm staying vertical, thinking about bringing my elbows into my ribs and decreasing the amount of the degree of angle between humerus and your torso. As far as intention goes, Vince is going to, what you can't see him doing is shoving out into my hands. For those of you who have never done intention before, you want to focus on doing this on the negative, especially because your body's proportionally stronger on the negative. It's going to be a lot easier for you to focus on doing something other than just pulling that weight toward you. So if the weight tends to be heavy, you might have a hard time doing it on the concentric, but the eccentric you'll be able to do it. If the weight is light enough, you should be able to do it both on the concentric and the eccentric. And he's shoving out. So now as Vince gets tired on these pull downs and shoving out, he's actually going to change the intention and start shoving in. It shouldn't really change your plane of movement at all. It's just going to change the firing pattern. So don't pull those elbows in too much, man. Just think about pulling in. There you go. Yep. So you'll notice you might not be able to squeak out an extra 3 or 4 reps like that because it's going to change the recruitment from the outside of your arms to a little more bicep recruitment and a little more inner lat. It just changes the firing pattern. So optimally, for more lat recruitment, you're looking at shoving out. Right. But to increase stimulus and increase the time under tension, we just shove in.
Right, that's great. Everything was really good there. I like to just underscore a few things. Lock those abs down. You see a lot of guys who don't have their abs locked down, they'll start doing the lat pull down, crunch. So they come down and it's finished with their abdominals. Again, it takes their lats out of a lengthened position, so out of a shortened position, I'm sorry, by lengthening them. So you're making it easier. You're not doing yourself any benefit, except maybe the person standing beside you who doesn't know any better and thinks that's impressive that you're lifting a lot of weight. Your muscles don't care though, so you're not going to grow. And then, yeah, absolutely, just shoving out, huge. Recruits your lats instantly before you even pull.
Yeah, I mean, you guys come in the gym with me, and you've seen me train, and I'm the biggest guy in every gym that I walk into, and I'm certainly not the strongest. So, at the end of the day, if you're out to get strong, become a power lifter, become an Olympic lifter. If you're here and you're watching us, chances are you want to build bigger muscles and build a better physique. So learn to optimize tension, learn to optimize execution, and that's how you're going to improve your physique ultimately. So your weight, like we say all the time, your body doesn't know weight, your body knows tension. So optimize tension, optimize range of motion, build an awesome physique.
Usually if Ben's not in the gym, I'm the biggest guy in the gym, but I just can't. Yeah, I gave up on that dream a long time ago.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Intermittent fasting is beginning a lot of popularity. The first thing we do need to admit is that the type of intermittent fasting that is being taught today in terms of fasting for specific periods of times, for specific goals, is in its infancy. It's brand new. Episode 20 of season 3, I can't believe it. We've had an amazing season. Episode 20 is dedicated to a case study from a female in Toronto, Ontario, very close to where I live here in Ancaster. We can look at some of the great things that she's doing, and we can take a look at the areas she has for improvement.
Today for this episode, I want to share a story with you about a guy named Larry Walters. Larry, you might call him Lawn Chair Walters. Perhaps you heard about this guy. He's from Los Angeles, and in 1982 he did an amazing thing.